Good morning, children. Jai Shri Gurudev. Children, hope you are all fine and safe. Welcome back to the English online class. Children, as we have started the poem Upagupta. So, in the previous stanzas, we have studied about Vasavadatta and Upagupta. Who was Upagupta? He was a disciple. So, he was an ascetic, the follower of Buddhism. Vasavadatta was a rich girl and she was a dancer. So, one night, while she was returning home, she saw Upagupta lying on the street, and when she startled on him, just she asked him, apologized, and asked him to come to his home. So Upagupta was a disciple. He was leading a very simple life, and as an ascetic he rejected. So when Vasavadatta invited Upagupta to her home, these things took place. Children, let us see what happened. Forgive me, young ascetic, said the woman. Graciously come to my house. The dusty earth is not fit bed for you. The young ascetic answered, Women, you go on your way. So when Vasavadatta invited Upagupta, and even Vasavadatta was a rich girl and she was proud of her beauty, and she was used to the richness. But Upagupta was leading a very simple life. And when she invited home, that why did she invite Upagupta? Because he was a young, beautiful man who was lying on the dusty street. So she said that, please come to my home. But Upagupta replied, no, I can't come to your house. But Vasavadatta said, when she stumbled over Upagupta, she asked forgiveness and she said, please come to my house. This dusty road is not fit for you. But young ascetic answered, no, women, this is my place and I am leading a very simple life. Just you can go on your way. So he asked her to go home. He said that he is not interested in coming to our house. When the time is ripe, I'll come to you. Suddenly the black night showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. The storm growled from the corner of the sky, and the women trembled in fear of some unknown danger. Children, when Upagupta rejected her invitation, and he said that when time is ripe is nothing but when it comes. When the time comes, I'll come to you. So he said, when there is time, when the time comes, I'll reach you, I'll come to you. So he said these words, and all of a sudden, there was a lightning in the sky, in which the thunder lightning, the light looks like a teeth in the sky. So it was a very terrible thundering light, and there was a storm growled from the corner of the sky. So Vasavadatta realized there would be a very strong storm, and she trembled in fear. She was shivering in fear of some unknown danger. So maybe this night there will be a terrible storm with lightning and thunder. So she realized that it may rain heavily with thunderstorm. Because of all those terrible sounds, she was afraid, and she came to know that something danger may happen. So she went home. She left Upagupta there and she reached home. A year has not yet passed. It was evening of a day in April, in spring season. The branches of the wayside trees were full of blossom. Gay notes of the flute came floating in the warm spring air from afar. Children, when she left Upagupta and reached home, so after many months, like 6 to 8 months, a year not yet passed, means still a year has not passed, maybe 6 to 8 months. In the month of April, one evening day, that is the spring season, usually we have spring season in the month of April. So that evening, the branches of the wayside trees were full of blossom, means in the streets there will be trees either sides. So the trees were full of beautiful flowers. Gay notes of the flute came floating in the warm spring air from afar. From a distance, in the wind, like a cool breeze, even there was the happiest music of the flute. The happiest sound of the flute was reaching, it came floating in the warm spring air. So the climate was very warm, and in the spring air, even we can hear the sound, the beautiful melodious music of the flute. So, in this way, the spring season was described in this stanza. So, usually in the spring season, we can observe the beautiful flowers blooming in the trees. So, the blossom of flowers and the aroma of flowers will be very beautiful, and along with that, spring air brings lot of music, melodious sounds. So in the same way, here also we can hear the flute music which is floating in the air. So this is how the spring is described in this stanza. Children, hope you have understood. So let us see what happens. So this spring air or the spring season is described here. That evening, what happened in that evening? Who came on that way and what did he saw? Let us see all these things in the next video. Thank you, children. Hope you have understood. If you have any doubts, please free to call me. Thank you. Jai Shri Gurudev.